Joining me now is former Governor Jeb Bush. And Governor Bush, let's start with the passing of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. Senator Cruz, Senator Rubio, and Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell all say that the next president should replace Scalia, not President Obama. At the debate, it sounded like you disagree. What is your position?
No, I think President Obama is going to submit a nominee, and in all likelihood, this person will be out of the mainstream and it'll be rejected by the Senate. That's his prerogative. He has every right to do it, and the Senate has every right to not confirm that person. And that's what I said. He clearly has the power to do it, but given his choices of Supreme Court justices in the past, the Senate of the United States should not confirm someone who's out of the mainstream.
But if I could just clarify, right now it sounds as though the Republicans who run the Senate aren't even going to schedule a vote. You think that one should be scheduled?
It's up to Mitch McConnell. That's really not important to me.
You mentioned what kind of Supreme Court nominee you would pick. You know this. Many conservatives still haven't gotten over the fact that your father chose David Souter for the Supreme Court. A lot of them are still smarting over the fact that your brother's choice for Chief Justice John Roberts ended up with somebody who helped save Obamacare. Isn't this a problem for you that this whole question of a Supreme Court nominee is front and center right now, given conservative skepticism?
Well, the Souter choice was unfortunate. He wandered off into the liberal camp for sure. John Roberts, I think, can be a defended choice for sure. Just the Obamacare decision, I was disappointed in, but he's made some really good rulings beyond that. Here's the deal. I think the lesson learned is you pick someone with a proven, long-standing record, a history that you can point to. When he wasn't considered, or she wasn't being considered for a nomination to the Supreme Court, when he or she was doing their work and the consistency of their rulings was what mattered. That's the Scalia approach. He was very consistent on his interpretation and his rulings, and that's what we need.
Let's talk about the debate last night. You and Donald Trump went at it again a lot. There is so much heat between the two of you. You really don't like each other, do you?
I don't know him well enough to not like him. I do think that he would not be the proper nominee for our party. He's not a conservative. He's not a serious person. His conversations in debates, when he talks about foreign policy, it's scary. To say that Russia could be an ally, he basically seemed more interested in Putin than my brother, for example. I mean, we shouldn't be changing teams here. We ought to be focused on what's the national security interests of our own country. And I don't think that that he's really thought it through.
And Governor, somebody who is coming to your aid, joining you on the campaign trail tomorrow for the very first time, is your brother, George W. Bush. You have been a presidential candidate for 8 months. Why now?
Because we're nearing the beginning of this process, and I think there's a lot of interest in my brother coming, and he's been helpful all along in a lot of different ways, giving me advice and helpful raising money, doing all sorts of things. But this was the appropriate time for him to do something he's not done.
Yeah,
he hasn't done anything public since he left office. So this is the right time, right when the interest is when it's important and when people are watching.
You say that, but in Iowa, in New Hampshire, and even before those votes were taking place, maybe he's a controversial figure in general, but as you well know, with Republicans, he is quite popular still. So why did you wait this long? Is there any regret about waiting this long? And while you're, at this point, at the beginning you were riding high, but now you're struggling for survival.
Well, I feel like after 3 or 4 obituaries have been written, I feel like I'm still alive and hanging in there and making good progress, and my brother will help a lot.
How will he do that?
The point is he a popular Republican? You bet he is. He will make the point, I hope, tomorrow that he knows what it takes to be a president of the United States, to be commander-in-chief, to keep the country safe, and that he believes that I have those skills based on my record and based on how he knows me. And that will be an incredible validator in South Carolina where values matter and where national defense matters a lot. So I'm looking forward to the event. We should have a great crowd, and it'll help my campaign a lot. I also know that I have to share my record and who I am. It's not a delicate balance at all. It's adding. Yes, I'm a Bush. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my brother, my dad, my mom. I'm proud of every Bush. I love them dearly. And I also have a story to tell. And I have detailed plans to fix the mess in Washington, D.C. It's all of that. That's what a campaign is about.
And lastly, South Carolina is the state that kind of rescued your brother's campaign in 2000. Do you need to finish at least third in order to keep going? Where do you see your goal, your real goal, your candid goal for South Carolina in terms of your long-term prospects?
My candid goal is to beat expectations, whatever those are, that I don't control. And I intend to be in this over the long haul. And as others drop out, my hope is to be there to take on the front-running candidate to make sure that people know that the Republican Party is the conservative party, and it needs a conservative to lead it to victory against Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders.
So
that's my mission.
No matter what you do, no matter what you do, how you finish in South Carolina, you're moving on.
My expectation is I'll beat expectations here.
All right, Governor, thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you very much.